Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. If you'd like to say hello, you can unmute yourself and say hi.
Hi, glad to see you.
Hi, nice to see you, Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Hey, Desi, how are you?
Hey, hi, Rajesh. How are you?
Hey, last time I kind of joined late. You wanted me to do something.
I was wondering if you could be a co-host with me.
Okay. I
And
won't be there for the whole call. I may
okay,
drop off like 10 minutes sooner,
that,
but
that's okay. Don't worry about that because it's just in the beginning of the call that I think most of the action happens.
okay. Yeah, I can be co-host.
Okay, so let me give you.
And then how do you remove somebody? You just tap on their name and remove?
So what you do is you go to the box where the person who is being disruptive, when it lights up, when someone is speaking, it lights up.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go to that box and you click on the three dots.
Okay.
Um, and then the very last, I think, action is remove.
Okay.
But it actually gives you two choices. It gives you the choice to remove and to report.
Okay.
So I'm not sure which one is better to do because if you report, I don't know if that should remove them, right?
Yes. So it'll be remove and report.
Um, yeah, I just don't know if you can do both at the same time, if you can remove and report.
I mean, I'll first try to report, and if they are still there, then I'll tap it again and say remove.
One thing you have to be aware of though is what happened last time. They're very quick. The box disappears very quickly. So so you just have to keep track of where they go. You may have to like flip through some of the, because people are on multiple pages.
Yeah.
You may have to flip through. I mean, I was on it last time. I was really quick to do, just for everyone, what we're talking about here is for those of you that might have been in the last couple of sessions, we had someone who was quite disruptive, so we had to remove them from the meeting. And I was able to do that last time pretty quickly. The time before they really disrupted the session. So I don't have control. I don't know who they are. If I knew who they were, they wouldn't be invited back. But hopefully we'll see what happens today.
Yeah. Somebody kind of Zoom crashed yesterday. I was on another call. They came in for like few seconds. We could see that guy, and he just screamed on camera and then was gone. And I think there were very less people, so they didn't have much thing to disrupt, I guess.
Oh, I see.
But
So there was someone who did that yesterday?
yesterday on a different call I was on.
I see. Okay. All
So
right.
you have made me co-host?
Yeah, you should
Okay.
be able to have co-host.
How do I test it? I'll just tap on somebody's name and see what I see. Yeah, I see it. Remove, put in waiting room, rename. I don't see report, but I see remove.
Okay, that should be fine. Just
Okay.
do that.
Okay. All good. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you all. You guys are here nice and early.
Okay, this is Rajesh from Charlotte, North Carolina. And coming on this call for almost fifth call, I think now. Fifth call, yeah.
Yeah,
Very good, informative.
old timers here.
Well, I'm new. I just signed myself up today. My name is Susan. I live in New Jersey.
Hi, Susan. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where in Jersey are you?
I'm in Roselle.
Oh, okay.
By
Where is it?
by Linden.
By Linden. Okay. I
Yeah.
am in like North New Jersey myself.
Where at?
In Summit.
Oh, okay, Summit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who else do we have? Who else wants to say
I'm
hi?
Michelle. I'm Michelle Carter. I think I said hi. I was one of the really, really early birds. I am from Houston, Texas. So this is about my second time, I think, coming on. But it's always been very informative, and you've been a very good host.
Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. Great to
Yes.
see you. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Hi,
Well,
I'm Lydia, and I think this is my second time. And it was very informational the last time I came, so I wanted to make time to come again. I would just ask for all the good vibes. I had a heat exhaustion experience earlier today. I overheated. I'm in the Caribbean right now. I'm originally from Texas, so
Mhm.
humidity is very real. So
Yes. I know what you're saying. I was in St. Thomas in July.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
my God. It's really unbearable. The humidity is
Yeah.
quite
And
something.
being from Texas, everybody thinks, oh yeah, you're fine, but no, it was a different experience. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
rehydrated.
all right. Well, talking about humidity, I am Robert and I am in Orlando, Florida, the king of humidity.
Hi, Robert. Welcome.
And this is
Hey.
my first time. I have no idea what to expect. I'm hoping this will be a good experience.
I hope so. I
Hey,
hope it is.
Lydia, you're joining from the Caribbean, and why are you on the call? You should be enjoying, right?
Well,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
no, I appreciate you asking. No, this was like my year abroad because I never did a year abroad when I was in college. And so, life circumstances last year, I said, you know what? Do it now or never. So I'm 9 months in
Which
and I'm
island are you
done.
in?
I am so done.
Which part of the Caribbean are you in?
I'm in St. Martin, so a half Dutch, half French island. Yeah,
Nice.
lots of beautiful beaches, awesome people, lots of large expat population, but they don't like to be referred to as expats.
What part of Texas are you from?
The Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, okay, Dallas. All right.
Yeah, but
I have my brothers are all Cowboy fans. I'm just neutral.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm not neutral. I am not a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, the Texans and the Texans
I'm
and the Cowboys, they rivalries now.
I know.
Yeah.
I got to be careful. I'm a Seahawks fan, though. I think
Oh, okay. Okay.
best
Okay.
year in Washington State. So that's
Yeah.
my heart
Go
is.
Seahawks.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, go
Go
Seahawks.
Seahawks. I'm from
All right.
Seattle originally.
Who is that?
Awesome. I'm from Seattle originally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place. I was a transfer there for 20 years.
The only
Amazing.
thing I've ever heard about that is it rains a lot.
Yeah, it's what we tell to keep y'all away.
And it works. Never been there. I don't want to get wet. I'd rather get humid, but not wet.
Well, I live in the South now. Trust me, it's wetter here.
Lydia, is this your first time going abroad, or have you had other vacations abroad as well?
Oh, well, I visited here for the last 8 years because one of my best friends retired and she had loved the place for 15 years plus before. And, she divorced what was not good for her. And then happenstance while she was visiting, she was talking about, well, what would it be like to live there? And, the universe saw fit. And 15 years later, she is, they're a joy to be around. So long story short, I have visited several Caribbean islands. I visited Europe, first time earlier this year. And I think I have seen enough of the Caribbean, unless it's just a vacation. It's like Las Vegas,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I get it. I've been all over the world when I was in the service, and when I got out, I decided to get all my traveling done then. So I saw the bullfights in Spain, the ruins in Italy, the torn down theater in London.
Okay,
Robert,
and when you went to the bullfight, did you get in there? I mean, not the running of the bulls. Did you run from the bulls?
Run. I was 280 pounds. I wasn't running anywhere. I would walk liberally for a few feet, but that's about it. My fat ass didn't run anywhere then, and now I'm too old to run, and I lost 180 pounds.
That's amazing, Robert. Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm just going
Thank
to
you.
give everyone else a chance to say hello because we're going to get underway here in a second. So, who else wants to say hi and where you're calling in from?
Hello, I'm from New York, from Staten Island.
Hey, Paul. Nice to see you.
And
Hi.
I piped in, said I was from Seattle originally, but I live in Asheville, North Carolina now.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Mhm.
I am Pascal, and I live in New York City also.
Oh,
Hi,
I like that.
Pascal.
I like that name.
Thank you.
I'm
Beautiful.
Carol. I'm
Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, I'm Carol. I'm in Kernersville, North Carolina, and I was in the military, but I was fortunate or unfortunate, depending on what perspective you have, not to go overseas. Now that's a really big miss for me. So, I'm just loving to hear from you folks that have been all around the world. I was in during the Gulf War, but other than that, I haven't really seen a lot. So I'm just loving to hear that.
Well, this is we have quite the selection of places here. It's really amazing to me to see where people are joining in from and how far and wide this group has grown. So I'm actually going to kick off and I'm going to ask you guys if you could please mute yourselves and just stay on mute unless you are called to speak. And if I will call upon you if you have a question, if you want to share something, just raise your hand using the menu at the bottom, and then I can call on you to speak. Okay. So if I can just ask, I'm just going to go in actually and mute everyone before we get going. Okay. Here we are. Okay, cool. So welcome, everyone. Great to see you all. I know some familiar faces, and I think some of you might be new. So if you are new, why don't you just put a 1 in the chat? The chat is at the very bottom of the menu. So if anyone here is new and hasn't had a chance to say hello, let's see who else is here that's new. I always love seeing how many new faces are here. Great. Welcome, everyone. I see someone is 4, which I guess is the 4th time. Yeah, and if you're not new, you can also type in the chat if you can remember what time it is for you. It's 3 or 4 or 5th time, just so we can see who we have here today. First time, someone can't remember. Okay. 4th, 2nd. Nice, nice. Okay, great. So just in terms of an intro, this call is, we have this call every Tuesday. It's always at the same time, 6 p.m. I try to have it every week. Sometimes I skip a week if it's a busy time or if there's a holiday. So last Tuesday, I took the Tuesday off for Labor Day. So hopefully everyone had a great weekend and enjoyed. And essentially, this group is here as a support group. I am Desi Shakni. I am a certified life coach and relationship coach. And I have these meetings because as, I navigated my journey in dating and finally meeting the person that I am in a relationship now. I know all of the trials and tribulations that I encountered. And I felt like having support, having someone who's been through it and navigated it and has, some background in supporting people through that journey. I think it's been very helpful, and I am always very eager and appreciate all the comments I get hearing from this community and understanding how useful these sessions are. So this is really, everyone is welcome. There's really no defined, gender or sexual orientation. It's an inclusive community for anyone who's interested in dating, and having a overall better dating experience is welcome here. So I just wanted to say that. Uh, the number of people are entering is whether it's their first time or second or third. So that's what people are entering the chat. Okay. So today we have a few topics that I wanted to address. But before I go there, I would like to invite everyone to just take a minute to arrive in this community and just take a breath. And we can do this together. If you wish, you can just close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And just let your shoulders relax in your chair where you are. Let's drop in together. And this is a space of presence, of gratitude, the gift of being here right now. Take a deep breath in and gently release it. Just feel your body softening in the chair, supporting you. Feel your mind quieting. This is your moment. And as you breathe, just feel yourself walking with intention, excitement, anticipation for wherever you might be on your path today. Remember that you are a being of light. Just take a deep breath in one more time. You are full of love and gratitude. Just feel it fill you up, expand you, and ground you. And allow yourself to tune into your intuition. Just ask yourself, what is true for me right now? What is true for me? And let your inner voice answer. You are not here to chase. You are here to create, to live authentically, to align with your own flow. Just notice your unique energy. The same as no two snowflakes are alike, no two flowers are the same. The same for you. Just feel the magic of who you are. Just breathe into that vision. Imagine stepping fully into it. What would it be like to be fully in love with this journey? From the beginning to the end. Allow yourself to follow your bliss and to follow your joy. And if you feel stuck or if you feel stressed, just breathe into that. And accept fully where you are right now. Then feel your body grounded. Feel your energy steady. And feel your heart open. And take one last deep breath in. And you can exhale with a soft thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for this practice to drop in. So I have three things that I would like to talk about today, but before I do, I wanted to announce something. And this may or may not be news to everyone. So I'm just very excited about this new development, and I wanted to share it with everyone. So as I've been navigating these sessions with everyone and also working in my private practice, I've been hearing a lot of the same themes repeating over and over again. And what I've done is I've created a program. It's a small group program. I'm super happy with it. I'm delighted to announce that it's now officially open. And for those of you who may have joined my waitlist in the past, I think you've probably received a couple of emails announcing it. So I just wanted to tease this out because I've really designed it in a way to take the frustration out of dating. I know how this journey we're on, of finding our partner, of finding love again. For some of us, it might be for the first time. For others, it might be for the second or even third time. And it is very vulnerable. It takes courage to be on this journey. So I know that there's many pitfalls that we might encounter, and it's important to have community. It's important to have support. So I've designed this program because dating is not about settling. It's not about worrying. It's not about efforting and dipping in and out of cycles of hope and despair. It's really should be just fun. It should be something that we hold lightly. If we desire a partner, that partner is out there for us. There are billions of people on the planet. There is someone there out for us as long as we want that to be part of our life. So I am holding that to be true for all of you. And I imagine that's why you're here in this community. And it's possible for you. Finding that person is possible for everyone. So I just wanted to tease this out. I will have probably towards the end of this session, the last 10 minutes, I'm going to dedicate to more in-depth, information about this program. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to stay on. And if you're not interested, that's fine too. No obligation. But like I said, the program is now officially open, and there are 2 bonuses that I'm giving away to people who are on the wait list. If you are not on the wait list and you are here tonight in this session, I am giving you the opportunity to opt in to be on the wait list, which means you just have to send me an email if you're interested, and I will add you to my email list communication. So that is all I have to say about that. And yeah, I'm just super excited about it. I think it's going to be a great container to work through so many things that we can work together in a very intimate setting. All right. So the topics that I had for today is, first of all, I wanted to address that dating is hard. Dating is hard for many of us. And I want you to, if you could in the chat, if you agree with me, let me know in the chat if you agree that dating is hard.
That explains an awful lot. Geez, I wish you would have said that 7 weeks ago.
Who is that? Oh, who is that? Oh, Paul.
It's Paul.
Ah.
I wish you would have said that some weeks ago. It'd saved me a whole lot of time.
Well, I'm just acknowledging. I am more than hard, someone says. Yes, dating is hard. Okay, nice. Now, is there anyone here who thinks that dating is not hard? Maybe dating is playful. Dating is murder. Yes, yeah. Well, we're going to dig into that. We're going to dig into some of the reasons why we think that dating is hard. And maybe for those of you who agree that dating is hard, if you can drop in the chat some of the thoughts and beliefs you have about dating that make it hard. Let's see why people think that dating is hard. It's hard to meet someone in person. Yes, it's probably hard to make a connection. We're all looking towards that future, right, with someone else where we have arrived in the relationship. But to get to that place where we have arrived, there's like many, many, many little milestones, right, that happen along the way until we get there. And even when we get there, we haven't ever arrived, right? There's always more work to be done, especially when you're in a long-term relationship. So let's just acknowledge that, for most of us, dating can be hard. And that's okay. It can be hard and it can still be worth it. It can be hard and we can do hard things, right? It can be hard, and in the end, we become a new person through doing all the hard work, right, that we put into the process.
I'm going to go ahead and say something else that has been on my mind since you mentioned about how dating is hard. Remember, you're talking to people over 50, right? So for us, we have the burdens of life that 20-year-olds don't have, right? So, we own houses, we have families, we're divorced, separated, widowed, what have you. These are colossal obstacles in our way to just, going out clubbing or whatever else. You hear about people who, some of it I think maybe a little bit overinflated, but I mean, yeah. Oh, it's easy, it's easy to pick up women. There's a, hey, listen, it's not. I mean, 50, I'm 60 years old. I can't tell you, go into the supermarket, whatever, and I'll try to strike up a conversation with somebody that I think is around my age. And without hesitation, they'll be like, oh my God, he's trying to talk to me. Like, it's difficult in that regard, as opposed to being younger. When I remember being younger, it was very, very easy.
Yeah. Well, we can all find reasons, right? Why dating is hard at this age. I mean, it's not actually, I don't think it depends on your perspective. It can be hard even in your 20s. It can be hard in your 30s for different reasons, for different people. Dating can be hard at almost any age. And I look at my son who is 25, and he has said to me that in the next 5 years, he needs to meet the woman who will be his wife and the mother of his children. This is him putting pressure on himself to meet someone in the next 5 years, so for him, I feel like maybe he is unnecessarily making it hard on himself because of that timeline that he has in his head.
Well, a lot
So
of people, there's a lot of peer pressure.
there's peer pressure for sure. And I just want to say one of the benefits of dating in our age is I just want to, and let me know if you guys resonate with this, is dating and finding our person is not an emergency. Is there anyone who agrees with that? It is not an emergency. It is not a life or death situation.
I disagree because we have less time than when we did before. We're more aware of our mortality, and we have more, especially as for me, I must admit I'm neurodivergent, and it's never been easy, and I have had many more hurtful experiences with people than when I was 20. I mean, even for people, when you're neurotypical, I mean, when you're neurodivergent, it's a lose-lose, like you probably have stereotypes about who I am. Well, I hope you don't. And unless all you do is watch movies about people like us, and people have stereotypes, they think don't have emotions, that we're distant, and they don't think about how much we struggle to get ourselves out there.
Right.
And also,
Desi, let me say something real quick.
Ed, I have a lot of empathy for you. I understand it is definitely hard, and I'm sure that for neurodivergent people, there's an extra layer, right, that it makes it more difficult to be out there, to be social, and to meet your person. So I just want to acknowledge that, and thank you for speaking up. So we do need to hear that voice as well. Who else wanted to say something?
I wanted to just interject real quick on what they were saying. What I've realized since you've been talking about this is the fact that when I was 20, I was in fit condition. I was 152 pounds, good looking guy, could have anybody I wanted. So I was able to just do my thing. As life got on, now I'm 60 and it's still a numbers game, only I'm not playing that many numbers.
Well,
that's why it's hard for me.
Welcome to this age group, right? So we're all in this together. I mean, that's what I want to say, you guys. You're not alone, okay? You can see this community. We have 73 people on the call just here on this hour who have made time out of their busy lives, to come on here and to, whether it's connect or learn or just find the support in this community, because it is a difficult process, because it takes a while for us to get there. And and it requires action. It requires, to some level prioritizing this in our life. And I totally hear you guys. I know we're all busy. Some of us still have, kids that are not out of the house yet. Some of us have children that are probably have flown the nest and are on with their new lives, or maybe you have grandchildren. But our time is limited, as is everyone else's. And so we need to be a lot more strategic, a lot more discerning in the time that we do put into our dating lives, into our, social lives, and not just because we want to have a full life, and finding a partner is just part of that. But then there's everything else, right? Because that is to some degree, we can control our actions, we can control what we're thinking, we control what we're feeling and doing. We cannot control the outcome. It requires two people to co-create, right? And so
Can I say something?
this is why I wanted to talk about co-creation. But yes, Michelle, yes, what would you?
Yes, I agree that at this age that dating is not an emergency. I have two college. I have two grown kids who've gone to college, and they're I'm empty nested, and so I am divorced. Okay, so I've done it, but what I'm saying is I'm happy. I'm at peace. I want to find my friend. I want to find my soulmate, but I'm not in a rush. I will wait until God sends me that person or shows me a sign. It is not a rush. If someone tries to peer pressure me, or you want a man, you want a husband. Yeah, but I want the right one.
Well, that's exactly the right attitude, and I think that's what I try to communicate and teach all of my clients in this community, is that we don't want to be with just anyone, right? We want to find the right person for us, because whatever time we have left, we want to live out that time in a healthy relationship, in a relationship where there's give and take, and where we truly feel like we are with our person, with someone who we feel seen and emotionally connected and safe to be with, plus everything else that comes along with a relationship. So, for many of us, and for me, even, I've been divorced for more than 12 years. There have been times in my life I've been single, very happily single, because I don't need a person, I don't need a man in my life to feel completely completed, or to feel like my life is full. I have I have 3 children, I have a lot of, friends and a social life. So it has not been the case where I've needed someone, but I needed to get to that point in my life. It wasn't the case from the very start. I needed to rebuild, I needed to focus on me. And it's a process. And for some of you guys, and I know some of you are in different stages of dating, or of being single, more recently divorced, more recently widowed, etc. So for some of you, you might be completely new to the dating scene. And I just want to tell you that you are seen, and it is okay to not know what to expect, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to figure this out. And dating, like many things in life, is a skill. It's really a skill that you can develop and become better at. It is not something that we off the bat, can do well if we haven't been out there in the world as single people for a long time. So, I want to get to some of these questions. I know some of you have questions, but I do want to address the 3 reasons why dating is hard, and what we can do about it. So let's go with Richard.
Well, thank you. I'm just thinking that before we run around and come up with the lines and whatever, we have to look at ourselves first. What are we selling? We're selling ourselves. You are what you believe you are. And the point is, what are you showing? What are you demonstrating to somebody else? And if you have a timetable, 5 years, I'm going to get married, in 6 years, going to have children, that's you're chasing love. You're chasing validation. And whether you know it or not, you're showing it to the other person. consciously, non-verbally, or whatever. And that is not the best side of you. I mean, it's like being on the Titanic. Everybody's rushing for the lifeboats. You know, you're not at your best self, you know, but you want to get off the ship. And I think that's what happens with us. We put these time strains on us, and you know, we say the right lines, but people look at our faces and look at our actions, look at the tone of our voice, and say, "There's something wrong here. He's saying one thing, but he's acting a different way," and that like turns people off because they think you're trying to hide something, or you're lying to them, or whatever. So you have to synchronize, you know, who you are as a person to your, and then adapt your strategy and your techniques, your talking, however. I've always found, and you know, a lot of people say this, Dr. Carl Jung, so on and so forth, that it's energy. At the beginning, it's energy. You match somebody else's energy. They match you. It's a mirroring effect. It's just a mirroring effect.
Yeah.
From then, you can validate, talk, listen a lot. Don't offer opinions. Don't offer advice. Just validate. Listen to that person. He may not give every opinion, you know, that's acceptable to you. Okay, or maybe he's not dateable, but at least you're validating, so that when that right person comes and you validate, something happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Richard, I know you've done a lot of reading and a lot of work on yourself, and I just want to acknowledge that. And I know you are a bit of a guru yourself in dating. So you know, I always find your viewpoints very, you know, interesting and spot on. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm just going to go into a couple of things as to why dating is hard. So the first thing I want to talk about is dating, and I'm just going to mute everyone. Sorry, I'm not going to get to you guys right away. So just hold on there, those of you who've raised your hand. So dating is hard because, mute all. Mute all, okay. Is hard because we are attached to an outcome. Because when we meet someone, we start to, you know, fantasize about what could happen. We start to look at the things in that person, you know, that we think are the types of things that we're looking for in someone before we even know them that well. And we start to, you know, get attached to an outcome, whether that outcome is, I want to go on a second date. I'd like to hear from them again. I'd like to get a phone call. I'd like to, you know, I mean, it could be as small as that, or it could be as big as, this is it. This is the person. This is, you know, I've arrived. I'm no longer dating. This is, you know, this is the person for me, period. So we can jump, you know, to these assumptions very quickly and get attached to stuff that is probably premature at a certain stage of the relationship. And this is, you know, all stages. I'm just going to give you guys the 4 stages of dating, so that they are initiation, which is the very, very early stage of dating. Exploration, that's after the initial couple of dates, you start to want to get to know each other better. You go into more emotional intimacy and vulnerability and sharing. Then you go to the deepening stage. And the deepening stage is where you really start to get to know someone on a much deeper level, as deepening suggests. And then the last stage of dating is commitment, before you go into relationship territory. So there's these 4 stages of a relationship. And if you're still in the early stages of dating, which is the initiation stage, there is so much that we don't know yet about the person. And so I think taking it slow and letting go of attachment to anything happening is really important, because again, it takes 2 people to co-create at any age, but yes, at our age specifically. But really at any age, it takes 2 people to co-create, right? And so the initiation stage is really where we're feeling our way into someone. Like, do we have chemistry? Do we have compatibility? Do we have connection with that person? And we want to actually have all three of those things. We want to have compatibility, connection, and chemistry in that order. It is important that we don't lead with chemistry. One of the reasons dating could be hard is because if we put too much emphasis on the attraction piece, on the chemistry piece, that could sort of, hijack the other two components of what makes a really, what makes a connection, a lasting, have potential for a relationship. If we put the emphasis on compatibility, but maybe there's not enough chemistry, again, you need all three components, but the order of the components in our stage of life is really leading with compatibility, then emotional safety and connection, and then, chemistry. Of course, we want chemistry with whoever it is that we are going to be, ultimately see ourselves in a long-term relationship with. So those are the types of reasons why we might find dating hard. I also think that, so for this next part, I'm going to lead you guys through an exercise about the common dating traps. And there's 4 dating traps that keep us stuck or, makes us think that dating is hard. And this is, I found these, they're very interesting, from a book called How to Be Dateable. How to Be Dateable. There's 2 ladies that wrote the book. They have a podcast. If you're interested, it's called the Dateable Podcast. And so they talk about these 4 dating traps. And let's just do this exercise together and see what you guys think of it. So, okay, what is the first dating trap? So it's the expectation of love on demand. This trap refers to the modern belief that dating should feel instant, effortless, that chemistry should spark immediately and develop into a connection very quickly. So can you see yourself in that dating trap? Can you see yourself wanting for something to, happen really quickly, develop quickly? Is there anything there that resonates for you? And I know that this may not be.
Physically, or like just like actually going on a date with them. Like if you meet somebody and you talk to them, like apologize for the question. But is it like physical intimacy, you mean, or like that you think you're gonna get a date because just
Well, people date for all kinds of reasons. And some people date because they want the validation. Maybe they're not ready for a serious relationship. I mean, people are in different stages of readiness. So I think we just have to be smart about that and acknowledge that not everyone that we're going to meet, whether it's in real life or on a dating app, is ready to have a serious, or is in it for a serious relationship. Some people are just in it because they're lonely, because they want the validation, because they're just looking to, have a social life even. And
I'll just be quick. I feel that because of the Me Too movement, sorry to be a little politically incorrect, hope you respect, I'm from France, half French, so bit of a more flexible in my beliefs, that it feels that simultaneously that the millennial generation are simultaneously hypersexual, but they don't they'll not accept perhaps women more than men. But I was, for example, in an online program for depression, that where this young guy said, "Oh yeah, my wife and then my other 5 boyfriends and my 3 girlfriends," and I was like, "But how do you guys get along, like in a relationship, or is it just you sleep together? Like what, like?" But at the same time, it's like it's just weird because it's not like this from like if you just like hold the door for somebody, they'll like practically see, you know, so I mean, like,
I mean, and this is, Jed, it happens all the time in any context, right? You cannot control how someone's going to react. I mean, in dating, it happens a lot, but it happens a lot, you know, I mean, you just don't know. You offer someone to hold the door for them and they look at you like, I can hold my own door. Thank you very much. You know, so you can't control that. You just have to accept that, you know, people are just going to be people. They all have their own traumas, their own wounds, their own baggage, and then you're not responsible for that. You know, you're not
I mean, it's
responsible
just
for how you react.
how
Yeah.
different that is. It was so different when I was young that it's kind of hard to
It was
roll.
different when we were young. Yes, I agree with you.
That's kind of destabilizing. That, and for me, it's doubly destabilizing because
And I will say to you guys, destabilizing is a thought. We can control our thoughts. We can control how we think of situations. We don't have to accept that things are destabilizing. We can get, you know, be more empowered to be with our feelings and how we react to things that are not necessarily, you know, that were out of our control completely. So with that, I'm just going to continue. I have 3 more traps that I want to cover with you guys. Let me just see how we're doing for time here. Okay. So the first trap is that love on demand trap. The second trap that some of us might fall into, it's called the settling paradox. So the settling paradox is that paradoxically, we want to resist the idea of settling with someone, but we actually don't let go of that relationship. And so paradoxically, we find ourselves in a situationship or in an undefined relationship. We're not ready to let go, yet somehow we feel like if we, you know, the person that we're with is not 100% what we're looking for, but we're not letting go either. So we're kind of in between this, in the settling paradox. So I don't know if anyone here has experienced that. You know, you're kind of compromising on some of your values and some of your standards that you have, but you enjoy certain aspects of a connection and you just don't want to let it go, you know? And so you end up staying in a relationship that isn't really the right relationship for you longer than you need to be in that. So I think that's a common one because of the scarcity mentality that some of us have. You know, we feel like we've met someone, they're good enough, we've invested in them, you know, things are in some areas maybe are working well, but it's not, you know, there's something still missing, yet we're holding on to that person.
sorry again, but could you?
Oh, Jed, I'm sorry, can I just go through all of these, please, and then we can have time for commentary. So thank you. Okay, great. So the third trap is called the validation trap. We just touched on this a minute ago, which is dating becomes less about building a meaningful connection, and it's more about feeding our need to be seen, to be liked, to be admired, and it's often results in attention chasing. We just want people's attention. We want to know that we are interesting to other people. But we're not really ready or interested in having a deep connection with someone. And so that's the other, you know, maybe we are recently broken up and we just don't want to be alone. And so we're chasing, you know, the next thing, like who can fill that gap in the meantime while we're looking for our next partner, right? So not everyone is meant for the long term. So that's the third trap. And then the fourth one is called relationship chicken, which is very interesting. I love the name. And this one involves both parties are testing the waters. Both parties are looking to the other person to make the next move, to define the relationship, or to take the relationship to the next stage. So, you know, they're both kind of playing it cool. You know, they're both coy and aloof, and no one is really, you know, investing too much into it. And so the relationship remains an ambiguity, and that's called the relationship chicken. And this is a lot of the time it's, you know, maybe one person does in fact want to progress, but they're too afraid to bring it up because maybe they believe that then the other person is just going to disappear. So there's many reasons why that happens, but these are the 4 traps that are outlined in this book. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up and, food for thought, see if you might fall into any of those traps, if you've experienced them. And if that's not working out for you, it's good to have the awareness, right, for yourself, how you are showing up with someone, but also to see the signs in them and to look for those red flags if they're not entirely ready to commit or if they're just undecided about you, because those are the two reasons someone is not going to take something further, is either they're undecided how much they are really into you, or they're just emotionally not ready to be with anyone. We have to accept that. We have to accept that we're going to run into people who maybe are compatible with us, where we have chemistry with them, where our life stages are aligning and everything else is aligning, but they're just, emotionally not in a place where they can really, offer a serious relationship. And, so that's one version, or there's another version where they're just, in it for other things. And again, it is okay to be in that. We just have to know what we want, and we have to be able to communicate it to our dating partners and our long-term partners.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. This is gonna seem so unreal, but how do you flirt? How
Flirt?
Flirt. Okay.
Oh, Michelle,
wait a minute.
I can talk about that for a long time, and I have talked about it in other sessions, and we can have that session again.
Okay.
It's a topic in and of itself. So we're gonna save one for another.
It seemed like when I was younger, I didn't need to flirt because they would come to, I'm kind of old school, so they would give me a number, okay? But it's like yesterday, I'm not gonna talk too much, but yesterday we was in like 7-Eleven, and it was this handsome guy, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him like, wow.
Did you smile at him?
But he had a little girl with him, and the little girl kept talking. I think he wanted to say something because he kept looking like interesting, and then I kept looking back but
you were doing it, your relationship chicken.
Exactly. But I said, because he had a little girl, he was like a U-Haul truck. I wanted to ask him, was he moving here? But I didn't know if his wife, or whoever was in the truck, because he was with his little girl.
It's okay, Michelle. I mean, he can be, all you have to do is smile back and just show that you're open to, saying hello, saying how are you?
But I don't know if he saw me wave.
Okay.
Well, if he didn't acknowledge, then he didn't see you wave, because any man on his face of the earth, if a woman talks to him, that's called flirting.
Okay.
Just talking to somebody, you're flirting with them.
Okay. Thank you.
And honestly, guys, I mean, there's so many ways to initiate.
Okay.
We had a very active chat about this last week, about how to make yourself visible and talk to people and just be courageous enough to say hello. And, it just takes courage, and it just takes being okay with yourself if that other person doesn't respond in the same way. So, we need to be bold. And in this age, like, we have nothing to lose, right? I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen if we say hi to someone and they just are not interested, right? So
the worst thing is not closing the deal.
What deal, Richard? What's the deal?
Hi, how are you? Would you like to go to a Starbucks coffee? Would you like to discuss stuff on at Starbucks or whatever? I mean,
it would be a missed opportunity. So take advantage of those opportunities.
Right. Because the quote is, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Okay. But you might get, I'm sorry, you look like you're old enough to be my auntie.
Okay. All right.
I'm 73.
Oh, no, I was talking about for me.
Well, there's the connection right there, people.
What was his quote again? If you what?
If you
Oh.
if you don't ask, the answer's always no. My
Okay.
dad taught me that when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
May I come in? I still think that we need to be a little, well, in my early, having just discovered that I'm not young anymore, I think that,
What
with all
are you,
the,
Jason Bourne?
no, it's, I'm 50, but I'm saying that right now it's kind of more, I think people are less like, yeah, like, let's just go out right now versus like, let's exchange numbers. I'm thinking like, I get a feeling that people are more cautious now. So like, even not just online dating, but like I don't want to get, I mean, I got accused of,
I was going to say that when you spoke earlier. I was going to say, yeah, it's just a more guarded world right now. So
I mean, yeah, because I mean, even online, like I had somebody come online, and I own a gallery, and somebody came in, an online person visited. Unfortunately, I gave her my phone, my number, and it was actually a prostitute. Like I went
Oh,
for
wow.
like, and I felt
Good for
something
you,
weird.
Jed. Good
Like,
for you. You hooked up with a hoe. Good for you. You
welcome
established
back to the
connection.
marriage,
You
Ellen.
saw that there was no chemistry, so you did not commit. You did
Yes,
the 3 C's
maybe.
the correct way.
Yeah, but you could have
Maybe,
made her an honest
yeah.
woman. You could have made her an honest woman.
Yeah, that's what they just shoot me in the
Now
head.
she left cussing his
Yeah,
ass out, told me he
You're
wouldn't
not
give you
sure
but
about this?
$25.
Okay, guys.
Well,
Okay.
this is really funny. Some prostitutes just go and shoot you and rob you. All right. So
Yeah, but I want to hear about your
like,
prostitute business.
Okay, guys. Okay, come on. That's enough. I mean, I think that listen, there's all kinds of people out there, and we all have crazy experiences. And just because of those experiences, we should not be discouraged, right? Because there's also normal, stable people who are interested in having a real deep, authentic relationship, as I imagine most of you who are on here are interested in that. So I mean, you guys are proof that it exists, right? You are out there, you're looking, and you're also trying to do it better, trying something new, doing it differently, learning, improving. And I think that is really all that we can do, is we just create awareness for what are we thinking, what are we believing, what is that impact having on how we're feeling, and how are we acting from that? Because our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings drive our actions. So if we're believing the wrong things, or if we're believing stuff that nobody's out there, all the good ones are taken, we're never going to meet our person, everyone's a scammer, we're just going to get crushed if we go out there, we're not going to be feeling the types of feeling that we need to feel in order to take the right type of action. So just have awareness for your feelings, have awareness for your thoughts, have awareness that not everyone is out to get you. Not everyone is going to be, a prostitute or a scumbag, or, whatever it might be. There are good people in the world, and it might be possible that you could meet someone that is right for you. And so just stay positive and believe in that, because it just might be possible, right? And if we think that and we act out of that belief, then we're much more likely to show up with the right energy that will attract people to us. If we're grumpy and we just like walk around with our body language closed off, and we just don't want to, look up at anyone, because God forbid they might frown at us or do something. Again, like, it is the energy you put out is what you're going to get back. And again, I want to come back to this idea of co-creation, because it takes two people, right, to create a relationship. But even in the very beginning stages it takes two people even to have a flirting exchange, right? You have to have someone that is interested in flirting with you. And so it's a co-creation process. And sometimes you're going to, hit on someone that isn't interested, but other times there will be someone else who is. And so I just want to encourage you to take your shot out there, not to play small, not to hide, and not to be, hold back because of the possibility of a negative emotion. And a negative emotion could be fear of rejection, being embarrassed, just feeling disappointed that, you know, your advance was not returned. I mean, those are normal things. They're just part of dating. Okay, we got to build up that resilience muscle. I mean, think about, you know, if for those of you that have applied to jobs and maybe, you know, had to look for work more than one time in your life. I mean, how many interviews did you have to go on? How many applications did you have to send? How many times did it, you were almost at the finish line and it didn't work out and you were rejected and yet you had to pick yourself up and, you know, keep going. And it's the same with anything that is co-created with someone else. Right? It takes two people. You have to want it, they have to want it back. And sometimes if we're too much in our heads, if we're too much in over analysis, we're not going to actually show up as our best selves. And so think about even a small thing when you are having like a text message exchange with someone and they text you something like, "Hi, how are you? How was your weekend?" Or "What are you up to?" These can be very flat exchanges that really don't show much, you know, much of anything. I mean, anyone can send that message, right? They're not showing personality, they're not showing imagination, they're not showing anything. Think about how you can respond, because like I said, it's a co-creation process. If you meet that energy with a different energy, with the energy of surprise, the energy of hey, you know what? I'm an interesting person. I'm going to answer this question in a different way and surprise that person and see what I get back. And so you just, you know, you can change the dynamic of something by the way that you show up. And so think about how are you showing up? You do not have to play into the energy of that other person, especially in the very early stages. You just don't know who they are. You don't know if they're tired, if they've been, you know, on the night shift. If you know, you just cannot know. There's so much you don't know, and we get wrapped up in our story, and we think, you know, about all the reasons why someone is maybe not interested or, you know, is just maybe a boring person. We just don't know. And I think it's really important that we just remain curious. We remain curious and we remain open to people coming into our lives and showing us who they are and us deciding whether they're right for us or not, right? So we just want to stay open to that curiosity. I think someone is trying to raise their hand, and the way that you do it is if you go to your to the icon that says react, there's a heart icon and you click on that. There should be a hand raise icon when you open that up. So that's how you raise your hand to speak. Oh, okay. So any final questions or comments? Especially I want to encourage people who have not spoken so far on the call, just someone new. To Edward, I can see that have your hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I've been wondering how you jump into the conversation because I've tried a number of times. Anyway, back to your being stuck in the traps. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Which of the traps is it when you are put into the friend zone?
Well, I think it's not really a trap. It's a clear sign that they're not interested. You're
Okay.
in the friend zone.
Well, into the friend zone, and then they continue dating you.
That's called the trapezoid.
Well, I mean, I think this is where you might, you know, of the four traps, I would say that could be the settling paradox, where you settle for something even though it's not meeting your needs. You know? So if
On my
it's,
side.
yeah. Does that sound right?
I can understand that point of view, yes.
Yeah, I think, you know, if your needs are that you have intimacy and physical connection with someone and she is not responding in that way, but she enjoys your company and she just wants to be friends, I mean, then it's, you know, if that has not been explicitly stated and you guys have been dating, I would say that you should have that conversation with her and say, hey, if we're not going to be romantic partners, then let's not be dating anymore. Let's just be friends.
So, oh,
I think that has to be communicated clearly. So, Jed, I'm sorry I'm going to skip over you because I know that there's a lot of people who haven't
Okay.
had a chance to say
Thank you
anything.
for the
okay,
answer.
Laura,
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
we can hear you. Yeah.
My thing was about the settling.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to determine. I don't want to be like a perfectionist, but like I, met a guy and he's a really nice person, but I just couldn't feel like a connection, a real deep connection. So I stopped seeing him. But I just wonder if I'm like over, settle and like I don't want to settle, but I just don't know.
You obviously didn't settle with him because you decided not to see him anymore. So,
Right.
but maybe you're wondering if you were too quick
Yes.
to discard him, so to speak. And I think that, that's an interesting question, and only you have the answer to that. If you've given him, so maybe if you give someone 2 or 3 dates, I think by that time you will know if there's really more to it, that can, there's more there that you can grow into, or if it's just not the right fit. Sometimes one date doesn't always tell you enough to know. And I think at our age, I mean, some people are shy, some people are just, it takes a while for them to open up and to really show you who they are. And that's really what ultimately is the point of dating, is really to get underneath the mask, is to get underneath all of that ego stuff and to understand who is the person, who am I talking to, like who is the real person, and do we have enough compatibility and enough connection and chemistry that we can take it someplace else. And it's okay, guys. I mean, it's a big world out there. I don't want you to be stuck in scarcity mindset. That is not what we want, because that's what leads to settling, right? It's the scarcity, the fear that we're just not going to meet anyone who comes close to that person. And that is not the kind of thinking that is going to get us the love of our lives. So I just want to say that if that is what you want in your life, if you want to have a real soul connection and with someone, which is really what we should all want, then let's just move on quickly from the people that are not right for us, so that we're not wasting our precious time and theirs. And so anyway, well, I know that we are a little bit, we're actually right on time right now, but I did want to talk for a few minutes about my new program. So this is your opening to leave this community if you're not interested in hearing anything about that. On the other hand, if you are curious and you want to know more, then I, welcome if you want to stay on for a few more minutes. And so I've been working on this, I'm very, very excited about it. It is something that is going to, I think, is really transformational for those of us who, for two types of people, really for those of you who are recently on the market and are, dating, or maybe dating, have been dating, for a few years, but you're still sort of trying to feel your way into this world of dating at this age. So for the newly recently in this bucket, and then for others who maybe have been in and out of relationships, maybe you kind of see that you're either repeating the same pattern, you're dating different people, but it's just not creating a lasting connection. So you're kind of repeating the same pattern over and over again, and it's not getting you anywhere. So those are the two kind of buckets that I feel this program would be good for. And it is going to take place over 6 weeks. So it's a pretty short course, but it's very in-depth for the 6 weeks that we have together. I've made it small enough that we can get to know each other intimately. It's a group of 8 people, and I have 2 cohorts right now that are open. So one cohort begins on September 24th, and the other one begins on September 26th. And what I love about this program, it follows a 4-step method that I've developed. I'm calling it the love method because each letter in the word love stands for something. And let me just take you through that. So the L stands for to learn and let go. Learn about yourself, learn about your patterns, learn about your past, and what is it that you want to keep from the past? What is it that you want to let go? And then who are you going to become? Who is that version of you that you want to become in order to attract the next right partner? So we're going to go deep into, I have a whole bunch of exercises that we do. We're going to have live coaching. There's going to be a lot of hand holding throughout the whole process so that you will not feel like you're alone. You'll be guided through the whole process. And, and it's a way of building a joyful dating life so that you're not stuck in the cycle of frustration that some of you might be experiencing now. So that's the L in the love method. The O is for optimizing your approach. This is about strategically, what are we doing to attract a partner? And, we're going to look at what are your partner preferences and also who are you and how are you projecting yourself? So what are the elements of your personal brand? What do people pick up on when they meet you, when they have an exchange with you over text or when they, talk to you on the phone? So what are those things about you that make you unique that will draw that unique person to you? And that's the optimize your approach part. And then the third part is visibility. And we want as many people as possible who are the right types of people to find you, to know you. We want to get you out of hiding and in front of the right people. And so this is all about being visible, but also owning your worth and knowing how to set boundaries and letting the right people in and blessing and releasing the people that are not right for you. So this is all about the visibility. And then last but not least, it's embrace joyful dating. This is about managing our energy, having enthusiasm about the process instead of feeling like it's confusing or soul sucking or draining or, all of those other things, exhausting. We want to come at it with enough energy that it's sustainable to take us up to the point where we meet our person. We don't want to burn out so quickly that we just feel like we have nothing left in us a month after we start our dating search. So this is all about how we do it sustainably so we can play the long game until we find that right person for us. And like I said, I will take you through all of this with exercises, I have a whole dating toolkit that I've developed for you that you can also tap into. And a lot of the work is going to be the inner work, right? We have to do the inner work to become the person that will ultimately attract that right partner. I'm sure many of you, especially if you've been out there for a long time, have had multiple short-term or longer-term relationships that have not worked out. And I think that this is the inner work that we need to do. If that has been a pattern that you've been seeing in your past, that it seems like it's the right partner, but yet something is not working out in the end. There is something within us that may have to change to ultimately know who is it that we need to be attracting and who is going to be right for us. And again, relationships are hard, dating is hard, but it is not impossible. We need to hold out the idea that it is possible for us to find the right person. It is possible for us to make the changes that we need to make in ourselves and in our actions. So inner and outer, not just what we do, but also from the place that we feel, from our own, identity of who we are and who is it that we're trying to meet. So it's not impossible. And again, dating is a skill, and we can learn a new skill even at our age. Even if you're in your 60s or your 70s or even in your 80s, you can still learn a new skill so that you can take the good things about dating, the things that excite you and fuel you, and leave the other stuff behind that isn't serving you, you know. And there's so much that we're going to unpack together. And I'm telling you guys, dating is just, it's just life. I mean, it's the same thing that you're going to use for anything that you want to create that might require, you know, more going into feeling a level of discomfort, taking courage and doing new things. And I just want to say that I got you. You're going to be working with me. You're going to feel safe and supported throughout the whole process. So if that is something that interests you, you can just send me an email and I will add you to the communication for the program. And this is specifically if you want to get the 2 bonuses that I'm offering if you sign up by tomorrow night. And after tomorrow night on September 11th, I'm going to open it up to everyone. And so you will still get the information, but you may, you know, lose out on the bonuses. So if you're interested in hearing about it right away, just send me an email. I just posted my email here. And you can email me directly and I will send you the info.
Okay. Let's see. Shachne.
It's my first initial, my last name at gmail.com.
Oops.
How's everyone feeling?
Superb.
I did want to mention that I only have 8 spots, by the way, because we want to keep this nice and intimate and do, you know, a lot of the work together. So I just want to encourage you, if you're interested, to, you know, think about if this is the right time for you, and opt in. And if it's not the right time, I will have more groups opening up in the future. So you can always take advantage for that if now is not a good time for you.
And are you gonna have?
Could you post your email again?
Sure. So if you just scroll up in the chat, but I'll just post it one more time.
Oh, thank you.
It's there.
Oh.
Are you seeing the chat?
No, I'm not.
Catherine, you're not seeing the chat? If you open the chat do you see the icon for the chat?
No, I don't. But you know what? I'll look it up. I'm not going to waste other people's time, but I really appreciate everything you said. You are amazing. Your information is awesome. Is there a podcast? I wrote down the book. Is there a podcast that maybe we can listen to as well?
So I don't have my own podcast, but the book that I referenced, it's called How to Be Dateable. They have a podcast. It's called the Dateable Podcast. So the 2 ladies that wrote the book have a podcast. And
awesome. Thank you so much. You've been so gracious and so very much an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Catherine, I appreciate it. Well, I hope you guys took something away from this. I do appreciate all of you for showing up.
Bye-bye. Gotta go.
And I look forward to seeing you next time. So thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
Yes, you will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, guys. Bye.